afternoon and welcome to Midday Live. My name is Wendy Lai. Coming up this afternoon, congestion causes chaos at Nimoro Catholic Primary School in the Sisala West District of the Upper West Region. Private legal practitioner tells government to resource office of the special prosecutor. Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation calls for prioritization of study of mathematics and science. On international front, over 380 people killed in earthquake tsunami disaster in Indonesian city on Friday. I've got details of these stories and many more lined up. Please stay. Let's start with a very first story this afternoon. Head of Public Health at the Veterinary Services Department, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto, has urged government to provide funds for rabies vaccination in the country. His request to government comes as the global community celebrated the World Rabies Day. Speaking to TV3, Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto said it is time policy makers enacted bylaws to restrict people from letting loose their dogs.
World Rabies Day, marked on September 28 each year, is an international awareness campaign coordinated by the Global Alliance for Rabies Control, a non-profit organization headquartered in the United States. The day's celebration coincides with the anniversary of the death of Louis Pasteur, who, with the collaboration of his colleagues, developed the first efficacious rabies vaccine. World Rabies Day aims to raise awareness about the impact of rabies on humans and animals. Here in Accra, the news team caught up with Sadek Brahma Annan, a young man plying his trade as a dog breeder. The visit was to ascertain the importance of rabies vaccination to Mr. Annan as a breeder of dogs. He says he makes it an effort to get his dogs vaccinated every year.
I started with pit bulls, then I later got into American bulldogs, then I got into the mastiffs, and I make sure their veterinary visit is very on point, because to get any of these dogs is an investment, and the rabies shot is less than 100 Ghana cedis at the veterinary hospital. So I wouldn't risk such investments for just 100 Ghana cedis, no. So my dogs, when it comes to deworming and vaccinations, they're on point.
Sadek Brahma Anand says his love for the keeping of dogs is unflinching.
I didn't start keeping dogs because of the money aspect. I have love for dogs. I don't see myself living without a dog around me. So yes, it started as having love for them. Then I realized there was a business opportunity to it. Then I took advantage of it.
For Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto, head of public health at the Veterinary Services Department, rabies is claiming more lives.
The cases of rabies here, there are many. For example, I can tell you that from 2009 to 2013, we had 901 rabies cases. And those cases were all diagnosed in the various laboratories throughout the whole country. So out of the 901 suspected cases, about 762 were all positive that involved human beings.
He urged the government to provide funds for rabies vaccination in the country since rabies is preventable.
Globally, you have to vaccinate the dogs up to 70% each year. By Ghana, the highest ever vaccination we had gotten has been 2013, which was 17%. So you see the gap. So that alone shows that we are still very far away in controlling rabies in this country. There is huge amount that government needs to devote time, because rabies is 100% preventable. So no Ghanaian is actually supposed to die from the rabies.
Dr. Bashiru Boy Kikimoto and Sadek Brahma Anand have these messages for Ghanaians on the occasion of World Rabies Day.
Make sure that in case some people are coming to your house to vaccinate, be sure that the person is a proper veterinarian. We don't want people who carry vaccines without using cold chain to come and vaccinate, and you think that is vaccinated.
It is a duty unto anybody that owns a dog to have time and make sure that the dogs get all the necessary attention, not only just the rabies shot, but deworming it and visiting the vet as regular as possible.
And now to one of our headline stories, and the classroom congestion at Nimoro Catholic Primary School in the Sisala West District of the Upper West Region is affecting academic work. School authorities say congestion and lack of teachers contributed to the school's poor performance at the Basic Education Certificate Examination, BECE. Yakubu Abdul Ghaffar reports that only 10 teachers, including the head teacher, are managing the school with a population of 449 pupils.
Nimoro Catholic Primary School was established in 1956, a year before Ghana gained its independence. It was established to serve the educational needs of Nimoro and adjoining communities. More than 60 years after its establishment, the school is battling with lack of infrastructure and is now overpopulated. The primary school currently has a population of 449 pupils. The school has only 10 teachers managing 9 classrooms. Apart from primary 1, which has 45 pupils, primary 2 to 6 have between 70 and 100 pupils each, which is making teaching and learning ineffective. There is no known school uniform in the school because each pupil comes in their own dress. Class 4 alone has 97 pupils. Their teacher, Theodore Kingsford, explained his challenges handling the class.
Sometimes class control is very, very difficult because you'll be teaching and because of the number, you'll be talking and other side, you'll be also talking. It makes learning, teaching and learning very, very difficult.
A local non-governmental organization, Infialimo Vibrant Village Foundation, has intervened by building a 3-classroom block to decongest primary 6, but the rest of the 5 classes are still suffering. Head teacher of the school, Giori Lambert, lamented about the situation and called on governments to renovate the school's old abandoned structure to support the school.
In the 47 people who represent 21%, it's just about only 10 people that pass.
The situation at the junior high school with 284 pupils is no different. Pupils sit in a partially ripped-off facility and school activities come to a halt with rain. Assistant head teacher of the school, Sonny Gilbert, said the school recorded 14% in BEC in 2016, 12.5% in 2017, and 21% this year. He attributed the failure to congestion and lack of teachers in the school.
Their performance are very low in the classroom, and then the class desk too, the sitting arrangement is poor due to the congestion in the classroom.
Sala West District Education Director Stella Dogbe has appealed for more classrooms for the school to enhance effective teaching and learning. She also complained about the poor teacher-to-pupils ratio in the district.
So if we get another structure, we have seen that the numbers will still be great.
Sisala West District Chief Executive Mohammed Zakaria Bako admitted the congestion and said the assembly has plans to renovate the abandoned structure and to decongest the school.
Away from that story, a new political group, the People Democratic Movement's PDM, has dismissed assertions that the attitude of Ghanaians is a major challenge to the development of Ghana. The PDM made this point at its launch at the International Press Center here in Accra.
The need for attitudinal change among Ghanaians is believed to be critical in Ghana's quest to progress. A leading member of the People's Democratic Movement, who doubles as a senior lecturer at the University of Ghana, Legon, Dr. Opoku Eidu, says negative behavior of Ghanaians are a result of harsh economic policies forced on Ghanaians. He is therefore hopeful a government that is committed to the right policies will bring about the progress Ghanaians need.
Ghanaian people are good people. I think the problems we see today are simply the responses to the continuing underdevelopment. You know, people are devising their own coping mechanisms, their own survival strategies. You know, so sometimes they are being corrupt, they cut corners and so on and so forth. Once they have a vision that portrays a brighter future, I think Ghanaians will be in tune.
A guest speaker at the event and former vice chairperson of the CPP, Rodalyn Imoro Ayana, has challenged Ghanaians to speak up more against bad government policies.
It is time for us to speak out. It's time for us to give other people a chance. Because leadership, after all, one doesn't take by force. People give it to people.
The People's Democratic Movement is, however, hoping to whip up support from December in order to transform into a political party to contest the 2020 elections.
Some more news, and some members of parliament are unhappy about the upward review of personal income tax. They contend that 35% increase has resulted in the slashing of their monthly earnings in excess of about 2,000 cedis.
Government, in its mid-year budget to Parliament on Thursday, July 19, reviewed personal income taxes to include a 35% per month on 10,000 Ghana cedis and above. First Deputy Minority Whip Ahmed Ibrahim maintains the increase in their personal income tax from 25% to 35% has brought untold hardships on MPs.
It's booming. Meanwhile, you came here to slash the salaries of MPs. So MPs are seriously disadvantaged. They are worse off currently than they were in President Mahmoud's time. Most people cannot even fuel their vehicles. I'm telling you in earnest, people see MPs in V8 and think that they are rich. Most MPs, I'm telling you, some came to take their pay slips and they were on zero account. I'm telling you. And these are the serious challenges that we are talking of. And nobody seems to be concerned.
He further stressed the non-payment of their district assembly's common fund has compounded their plight.
Government should either consider releasing the statutory funds so that when you go and you do your emergency programs in your constituency, when you come, your small salary that is left will be enough for you. That is what we are saying. But here's the case. People think we get something. You too, you don't release it. Is that fair? You are the Minister for Finance. You know you were bringing about $270 million of loans. And you know you have disadvantaged your parliamentarians. You have not given them, even when we were in the house that you should have brought the common fund for them to go, you couldn't even bring. So where is the money?
The MPs whose salaries are pegged at 13,000 cedis say responsibilities, including paying school fees and seeing to the needs of their constituents, had a negative impact on their finances.
A private legal practitioner, Martin Pebu, has urged governments to resource the Special Prosecutor's Office to enable the state anti-graft body run efficiently and effectively. Speaking on New Day, Martin Pebu, however, dismissed reports that the Special Prosecutor's Office's inability to function effectively was due to the absence of an ally.
To be very clear, the regulations is cited. It's not his #1 priority. I mean, there's no way he can make a sustainable argument that the ally is the #1 priority. You know why? Because in the Act, most of the issues that the ally is...
So he can do without it? Is
yes, for now. And he didn't even make that point. He wasn't saying that without the ally, he cannot move. No. In actual fact, when he enumerated his problems, as far as remembering what I listened to, the ally was about the last. He first started with lack of prosecutors, you know, the human resources, the machinery and all that. So the ally is bottom. So if we draw up a scale of preference, the ally will be rock bottom. Yes. You know why? Because in the Act, most of the issues the ally is to cater for have been taken care of, at least for the broad framework. For lack of a better word, I'll use the word broad strokes. So let's say the ally, so #1, the ally is to take care of issues such as complaints, the procedure for complaints. #2, how should confiscated assets be dealt with? 3, seizure. You see, and so on and
this
so forth.
could easily.
You're still watching Midday Live with me, Wendy Lai. Away from that headline story, and African Americans are retracing their roots back to Africa and ending up in the northern region. Connie Williams hinted that many other African Americans are undergoing DNA tests to retrace their roots back home. Eva Atiboka caught up with Connie Williams in Tamale.
Connie was born in the United States of America, but she says there is nowhere sweeter than home. Feeling lost and curious, she traced her roots and that of her entire family back to Africa.
I did my DNA test, and it said I was 80% to 100% Yoruba. So I said, okay, let me go to Nigeria to follow that. So when I went to Nigeria, I went to Ibadan and found out that my family line came from Idori.
Although she is a Nigerian, Tamale is her second home because of its hospitality. You may say Connie knows the northern region better than the indigents.
A lot of tourism places here. I like the falls. I love going up to Paga. The slave Salaga Mole Park, I have not visited, which I love to go. Back to Yendi. Well, I like the northern region because of the hospitality. There's very, very warm people. They're warm people. The area it's so natural. Everything in Tamale, I feel that is so natural.
Focused on supporting women, she is honored with one of the great titles of the Pambo community. Fuyawa is her queen name, which means woman of substance and action. She has a vision for the people of Pambo.
It's to help our village, Pambo, with more trade for the young people in this area. I will try to find the sister cities to intervene in some of the things that we're doing to maybe partner with them.
She's getting more African Americans back home to help in the development of Africa. Checking back, Connie says some of her friends have taken their DNA test and are awaiting results to come and settle in Africa.
We had programs here.
Interesting story there. And let's move on. The Justice of the Supreme Court, Justice Paul Kwadwo Bafuboni, has supported calls to retain the death penalty in Ghana's law books. The Supreme Court Justice argues that the laws are meant to protect society, and society will have no protection if serious crimes are committed without punishment.
The call for the removal of the death penalty from Ghana's law books began in mid-2000s when human rights groups began agitating that it was wrong to take the life of a person who commits murder. Since then, it became an open debate with divergent views. The current Speaker of Parliament, Professor Michael Quay, has been quoted as supporting calls to retain the law. His call found favor with Justice Paul Kwadwo Bafuboni, who questioned the moral justification of those calling for the removal of the death penalty.
A lot of people are talking about abolishing death sentences because you don't know if you kill somebody and the person is later found to be not guilty. Since when was somebody killed in Ghana, even though we have people serving death sentences? So let them be there.
The Supreme Court Justice again asked the human rights campaigners to put themselves in the shoes of victims whose interests the laws are protecting.
If somebody goes to the mosque on Friday to kill more than people, or he goes to the church on Sunday to kill so many people, then you say that's human rights. So he should not be sentenced to death. I mean, what sort of human beings are we? Long sentences are there to be given, and they will continue to be given for as long as people continue to commit grievous offenses.
The last execution carried out in Ghana was in 1993 by firing squad. A total of 160 individuals were on death row as at the end of 2017. The number rose from 29 in August 2015 to 148 by the end of 2016. Crimes and offences punishable by death are murder, treason, war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide. Other offences not resulting in death but may attract the death penalty are attempted murder, aggravated piracy and assault with intent to murder.
To one of our headline stories, the Minister of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong Boateng, says Ghana must show strong commitment to mathematics and science in order to enable to translate scientific development into economic gains. Addressing the Africa Science Week in Accra, he noted that governments will increase the minimum of 2.5% GDP towards scientific research and development.
Science, technology, engineering and maths, referred to as STEM, are key factors in the rapid development of a country. In many advanced countries, conservative estimates have it that the direct and indirect contribution of mathematical and physical sciences to the economy is 25%. In Ghana, the contribution of science and technology is estimated at 1%.
Having a policy will not do the trick. You need funds. That is why the president has promised that in the short term is going to devote 1% of GDP to research and development. That has been approved by Cabinet, and the Attorney General is working on it so that it will be made into a law and it will guide us. So in the short term, 1% of GDP will be devoted to R&D, and in the long term, it will increase to about 2.5% of GDP.
The German ambassador to Ghana, Christoph Reslav, called for more investment into STEM to bridge the technological gap to foster growth and economic development.
I'm convinced actually that science and technology, or STEM, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, are key factors for the successful and rapid development, not only in Ghana, but in the whole of Africa, because these are exactly the qualifications you need for a science-based development in the 21st century.
The forum was on the theme, Accelerating Growth and Development Through Science, Technology, Engineering and Mathematics.
You're still watching Midday Live. We have more shortly. Please stay. Thanks for staying. Let's do business now. And the board chair of the National Insurance Commission, Ray Ando, has confirmed the NIC will announce a minimum capital requirement for insurance companies in the next 3 months. Raymond Ando says this is key in ensuring sanity in the insurance industry.
The Commissioner of Insurance earlier announced that the new capital requirement for insurance companies is likely to be pegged at 50 million Ghana cedis. Insurance companies are currently required to have 15 million Ghana cedis before they can do business in the country. The proposed increment, according to the regulator, have been influenced by current development in the economy, and it is also to help insurance companies to absorb industry risk. Speaking on the sidelines of the launch of Serene Insurance, board chair of the Insurance Commission, Ray Ando, said stakeholder consultation have been held on the new announcement.
At the end of the day, you're not going to please everybody, but we want to make sure that we get it absolutely right. And that is the reason why these discussions are ongoing. But I can assure you that it is something that people will have confidence in. So rest assured.
He adds that this is relevant to safeguarding the policies of customers.
We are looking at tightening the regulatory framework, so things like undercutting, which is a problem, the low confidence in the insurance industry, whereby members of the public do not simply believe that things will be done properly. These are all part of the things that we are looking at to ensure that we engender confidence, increase the confidence of Ghanaians in the insurance industry.
The NIC is to begin an industry overhaul to flush out fake companies.
And more on business this afternoon, we bring you a story on the opening of the 2018 Grand Sales at the Trade Fair Center.
The Grand Sales is an annual 12-day sales event which seeks to bring together over 100 exhibitors to showcase what they have to attract thousands of buyers. The goal of Grand Sales is to create the platform for companies, both small, large and medium to offload their stock and to restock ahead of business activities that normally precede the Christmas season. Speaking at the opening ceremony, CEO of the Ghana Trade Fair Limited, Dr. Agnes Edu, implored exhibitors to use the opportunity to create business networks.
Once you've industrialized yourself, how do you now showcase your goods and services to the rest of the world or to the regions? And so Grand Sales is really a platform that Trade Fair creates. As far as lifting the image of Trade Fair, really, Grand Fair is our mandate. And so if it helps to lift our image, really our focus is really to lift the local economy. And that small business that is needing a platform to showcase itself, that's what we are here to support or to do.
This year's edition will also have foreign exhibitors from countries in the sub-region, Turkey and India, among others. Dr. Agnes Edu says this is in line with government agenda of industrialization in the country.
It's a generalized fair, so everyone is invited. Small businesses, medium businesses, large businesses, everyone is invited. You can come on the grounds. Now that it's open, you can come on the grounds and actually register to be an exhibitor, bring your goods or your services, display here and participate in the exhibition.
Exhibitors are upbeat about the event.
We have here standard products. They are all from Israel. We are expecting to make more sales and to get more customers.
Since we're going to be here for the next 12 days, we are really prepared for it. We are just hoping that most customers will come and look out for our products. Then we can do more sales around this place.
They should come around, taste and make their best choices and maybe patronize them later on, not just here.
The special attraction to this year's event is that it comes at no gate fee, has a health screening feature and kids fanfare.
And that'll be all for business this afternoon. Let's look at some other stories. And the People for Health project uses technology for health service delivery. The project has adopted a new digital tool called the P4H dashboard to improve healthcare delivery and the relationship between patients and healthcare providers. Organizers of the project held a knowledge and exhibition fair in Accra to showcase the online dashboard and milestones achieved in the project. People for Health is a USAID-funded project which is being implemented by Send Ghana, Pen Plus Bytes, and Gun News Agency GNA. The P4H project seeks to empower citizens to strengthen organizational and institutional capacities of government and civil society organizations, CSOs, for mutual accountability in health, HIV, water, sanitation and hygiene, family planning, and nutrition policy formulation and implementation.
Healthcare is important for everybody. Almost every human being will need what? Healthcare. However, the question is that when they go and access healthcare, do they get the best of care? So our project is focusing on how can we encourage citizens, how can we encourage people who access healthcare to be able to give feedback so that they can use that feedback to improve on the quality of care. So the point is that when you access healthcare, you may not have the best of experience. And when you have an issue about the delivery, who do you tell it to? And the project is giving that mechanism to tell the duty bearers or the service providers how to deal with those issues.
The P4H dashboard is a digital platform for citizens to share information on 5 thematic areas: WASH, HIV and AIDS, maternal and child health, nutrition and malaria.
This is what is missing in our healthcare system now. We only have the suggestion box. Once you drop in something, the facility getting back to you is a problem. This is what we seek to bridge. This is what we are trying to take away from that system. Taking away the human face and getting feedback from clients. And based on the feedback, we can provide quality healthcare services that clients need. Try it and listen. Yeah, so just take your mouse here. Yeah, so you can type whatever the issues.
The project has been implemented in 20 selected districts in the northern, eastern, Volta and Greater Accra regions in Ghana. More on healthcare this afternoon, and doctors are attending to patients, including critically ill ones, on the floor at the Midday Hospital in the Bumprugu Nampanduri district. To worsen the situation, patients lying on the floor will have to be discharged quickly to make way for other patients. Eva Atiboka reports the hospital lacks adequate space. That remains the only option.
Shared lie-in beds is a sign of lack of space, which compels doctors to admit patients who lie on bed and on the floor. Bindi Hospital serves 58 major communities and is a referral point for other health facilities. It is the peak season for malaria. Resources are overstretched and bed occupancy exceeds limits. The 25-bed capacity children's ward had 54 patients on admission. Most patients are receiving treatment on the floor, while others share lie-in beds in spite of cross-infections. Doctors say they are compelled to discharge patients quickly to make way for others.
If it was in the best of facilities, you would want to maybe see a little further, a day or two, to see if there would be one or two developments that will come up. But if you are pushed this hard, the complications that you should monitor for them to come up, you actually don't monitor for them to come up. So what we rather do is that we see them on a shorter duration for reviews.
Medical officer Dr. Christopher Nubaberi expected malaria cases to have reduced with the indoor residual spraying.
A lot of pressure. Too much pressure than we can handle. It's obvious. Without the indoor residual spraying that went on previously, had picked up, which meant that they covered a lot of households. But that didn't happen. Because if it did, our number of severe malaria cases should have reduced, only for it to escalate.
He is worried most patients arrive in critical states and are quick to blame it on distance and poor roads, especially during the rainy season.
They come with the worst forms of the complications of malaria. They require transfusions, some are with cerebral malaria, black water fever. We literally have to be here throughout the weekend. And then the Monday after ward rounds, there were like 15 cases being transfused at the same time, overseen by just 2 nurses.
Noah Ninjing arrived at the facility with his critically ill son from Namgbang, 48 kilometers away, over a period of 2 days.
There are 2 rivers on our stretch. We were able to cross one, but the other was full. We had to sleep over in a nearby community and continued the next day.
The Ministry of Health intends to implement a technology assessment as a priority setting tool to meet the healthcare needs of the country. Well, this will ensure value for money and make the National Health Insurance Scheme sustainable.
Healthcare Technology Assessment, HTA, is a systematic evaluation of properties, effects, and impact of health technology through a multidisciplinary process that evaluates the social, economic, organizational, and ethical issues of health intervention. It encompasses the procurement of medicines, medical devices, and vaccines. At an event in Accra, Director of Pharmaceutical Services, Martha Lutrot, said there is a need for the sector to prioritize some vaccines in the National Insurance Scheme for economic benefit.
It is important for us as a country who is in transition in terms of the fact that we have very little resources and yet we have to do big things for our people. We need to now begin to look at how we can prioritize what is essential and what is important so that we can cover as many people as possible.
The Director of International Decision Support Initiative, Professor Calypso Kalkidu, says if the health technology assessment is put in place, it would improve the resources allocation process.
This is a scientific method for assessing the trade-offs, the pluses and the minuses. And I think that's really important for a country like Ghana and similar countries that are now expanding their insurance fund, they're spending more on health, they're growing economically, how to make sure what they do is efficient and equitable.
Vice President of Health Technology Assessment International noted it is essential to make health systems accountable.
They are in the process, or you are in the process of introducing HTA in the country, and in this sense what you are going to do it is doing a much more accountable process and also defining the playing rules for the different sectors.
The event, which was organized by the International Decision Support Initiative, Health Technology Assessment International, and the Ministry of Health, sought to address difficulties that low and middle income countries face with accessing universal health coverage.
Now to education, and first-year students placed on the double-track system in the Myon Senior High Schools in the Myon district of the Northern region are facing serious academic problems. First-year students have been put together with the second-year students in the same classroom and restudying second-year curricula. Eva Tibuka has more on the story.
Students are already struggling with space. Second cycle education started last year in Myon district. 200 students were placed in a 4-room structure at Sang. Already, the 4 classrooms are crowded with 50 students studying in each room. This year, 500 first-year students have been placed in the school under the double-track system. The new students are studying same subjects in same classroom with the second-year students.
This is Form 2A, and here we have Form 1s and Form 2s mixed together. This afternoon the subject is economics and the topic is economic systems, but basics of economics being learned here. On the board we only have the definition of economics, which of course the year 2s shouldn't be learning.
Economic system is the continuation of the year 2 syllabus, but we have SS1s who have just reported. We are doing this to let them be fully engaged.
A few of the first-year students have reported, but there is no space for them.
Where to put them is a big problem. So those who have reported, we have asked them to sit among the Form 2 students according to their programs.
Being a day school, most students come from far away places and would have to look for accommodation within the community. Meanwhile, a community day school built to accommodate the students is already completed but remains closed.
Authorities that we have been consulted and they have been told by higher authorities that things are in place in the next few days.
Few days when? How soon?
How soon, I cannot tell, if I'm to be honest with you.
But this block is fully completed to take care of the 400 to 500 students we are expecting under the single track system. What we need now is for the contractor to come back to site quickly and hand over the block for academic work to start.
District officials, parents and students want central government to intervene as soon as possible to open up the school for use.
You're still watching Midday Live. We have sports next. Don't go away. And in entertainment this afternoon, the president of Arts and Tourism Writers Association of Ghana, William Asiedu, has called on the Ministry of Tourism and the government to improve infrastructure at tourist sites across the country. In an interview with TV3, William Asiedu stressed the importance of promoting domestic tourism to enable the sector generate more revenue.
World tourism has played a constructive role in the socio-cultural, economic, environmental and political development of destinations within countries. Findings from Global Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index say Ghana is ranked 120th worldwide and 21st on the African continent when it comes to tourism destinations. The president of Arts and Tourism Writers Association of Ghana, William Asiedu, believes there is more room for improvement.
If you look at 120 over 200 countries that we have in the world, and if you come to Africa, 20th over about 50 plus countries, which means that averagely it's just 50%. We are average. I think we should be in the top echelons of, the destinations that the world will want to visit in terms of tourism. Charity, they say, begins at home. If we don't appreciate what we have, nobody will come and enjoy, our space with us. So I'm just encouraging the ministry to focus on the things that will make Ghana attractive in terms of infrastructure, because that's the only way that Ghana can be attractive.
Ghana's tourism sector has received some facelift, which has resulted in the improvement of the sector's development indicators. In recent times, the sector unveiled 30 tourism ambassadors, a move to promote domestic tourism. He charged the ambassadors to take advantage of their huge following on social media to help promote the sector.
And I'm happy to note that the ministry has appointed some ambassadors. We want to see the ambassadors doing more. We have social media, they have millions of followers. Some of them have 700,000 followers. They should visit the tourism sites and let the world see what we have. Ghana is heavy on heritage tourism. We are heavy on cultural tourism. We are also heavy on natural resources. I mean, all these should be packaged, and our ambassadors should go out on social media and sell them. You go on social media, their names are there. You don't see them actively promoting our tourism, except a few of them.
And that'll be all for this afternoon. I am Wendy Lai. Enjoy the rest of our programs. News 360 is at 7. Do have a lovely weekend.